Hey guys, YouTuber 100 here. Alright, now here I am continuing with these horror movie reviews this year. And now, next up, now this is going to be a review for Carrie. So this is another one that is like, is really among the most famous horror movies of all time. I mean, yeah, this one really is like right up there with ones like a Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Scream, and all those other ones. And even some of the ones I've already talked about this year, such as like The Omen and Psycho and stuff. So yeah, this film really is just like a classic. Yeah, I mean, this film is really kind of interesting, like sort of like Rosemary's Baby. Um, it really is sort of like a different type of horror movie. Like it is like sort of it is like considered a horror movie, of course, but yeah, it also kind of like has like it really is sort of like a drama movie as well, and it also kind of like does seem to be like sort of like a psychological filler as well. So yeah, so this film really seems to really have other tones other than being just a horror movie because yeah, it really, like I said, it really does really seem to be a mix between like horror and drama because yeah, the tone this movie really does have, like with like a Carrie's story in the movie and such, like it really is feels like really like dramatic. It's not really like dark, but it's just dramatic. Yeah, and it really does seem to be like a really sad movie in a sense because like just like when you do see like everything that Carrie does actually go through in the film, like it really is pretty sad and it really does really make you sympathize with her. Even like when like it does seem that like things do get better for her and like she's finally accepted among like her peers and stuff, like when it ends up going wrong and what she ends up doing, like it really does really get like really sad just seeing like what happens with her. So yeah, so this movie really does like really do a good job of like kind of like mixing the tones of the horror and drama to it. Yeah, and it's also like kind of like interesting what it also like does with Carrie. Like in this movie, like we do like kind of like see that there's like another like interesting thing about Carrie that like we see that she does throughout the film. So yeah, so it is kind of interesting that we do see like there's like more like stuff that really is happening with Carrie than simply just like what we do see her going through in the movie. So yeah, but yeah, like I said, this really is like really among like the greatest horror movies of all time. Like even if you haven't seen this movie, I'm sure like pretty much all you do know like just like this movie really is known for just like that image of Carrie just being like absolutely covered in blood. That is really like what the movie really is like known for. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, and this really is just like a really really great movie. I mean, yeah, this film really is a classic. Like you have like cast members like a Sissy Spacek as Carrie herself, and yeah, and she does a real great job. And you also do have cast members like Piper Laurie, Amy Irving, William Catt, John Travolta's in this movie, Nancy Allen, yeah, even Edie McClurg does like have an appearance in this movie as well. Yeah, and they all do pretty good jobs in the movie. Like I said, Sissy Spacek really just does a really phenomenal job as Carrie in the movie. Yeah, and yeah, and yeah, and everyone else like Carrie's mother, like she's really good. Like the bullies that are like always picking on Carrie are like really good. Particularly Nancy Allen as the main bully, like she does really good. Good, yeah. Yeah, and pretty much like everybody really does have like very solid performances in the movie. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so really just I really don't know what else I can really say about this movie. Like it really is just like really good, and yeah, and it really does a good job of really like having like that dramatic tone. Like you really do really like see like what Carrie is going through, and as you are like as you just like see like how her life really is, it really does make you like sympathize with her a lot throughout the entire movie. Like, and even like when like it seems that she is really getting accepted among her peers. Like you are like really like feeling like really like happy for her that it really does seem like things are turning around for her. But then yeah, then when it just ends up going wrong for her, it really just does make it like very very depressing. And like when you do see what she does as a result of it, like just yeah, it just is like really sad to just see like what like how bad it really did get for her, and just like as how it really just seemed to get better for her, and it just went totally wrong. So, yeah, like I said, this really is just like among the greatest horror movies of all time. So, I'm sure that if you are horror movie fans, then you probably have seen this movie. But if by some chance that you haven't seen it, definitely give it a watch because yeah, this film is just an absolute classic. So yeah, so really, I would definitely say that I would definitely give this film a solid 4 stars out of 4. Like, yeah, this film really is just like an absolute classic and really just like a really like among the best horror movies of all time. All right. So yeah. So there's not really like much else to really say about it. So yeah. So I guess I'll just go over the premise of the movie. Yeah. So as the film opens up, it shows that like Carrie is just like a very unpopular student in school. Like shows how like she's pretty much like bullied and teased by pretty much everyone. Yeah. But it shows that like her gym coach is really like the only person that really seems to be like very understanding and accepting of her. Like she really does actually like sympathize with Carrie. Yeah, yeah. And then yeah, then like it shows how like at one point uh like it just shows how like Carrie really like does have like some strange things going on. Like there's this one point where like she's like in the school shower, but you do see like what appears to be like blood dripping from her hand. Yeah. Yeah. Then it shows how like she really does have like this like sort of like a telekinesis power, and we do kind of like see it displayed like throughout the film. Like like there's one point where she's in the principal's office and like she causes like the ashtray in the office to like a flip over without actually touching it. Yeah. And then yeah, then there's another point like as she's walking home, there's like this kid like on a bike that's riding like all around her, and then she causes him to like fall over. Yeah, yeah. And then yeah, then like we see that Carrie does live with like her mother Margaret, who's just like very unstable and just like very fanatically religious. Like she's always like having prayers and kind of like always like forcing Carrie to recite prayers, even like having her like repeat prayers and even locking her like in a closet to like ask for forgiveness. Yeah. Then the following day, like at Carrie's school, her gym teacher, Miss Collins, really just like reprimands all the other girls that tormented Carrie, and just told them how they would be like be punished for the entire week in detention, and they're told that like one bully he, Chris Chris like was like really like just like saying she wasn't gonna do it, but then Miss Collins just told like all the girls that like if they skip the detention, then they would be punished by being suspended for 3 days and also being banned from the upcoming prom. But then yeah, but Chris still just ended up like walking out on the punishment and being um like barred from the prom. Yeah. Yeah, but then yeah, then it showed like how like Chris really was just like wanting revenge against Carrie. So then she then plotted with her boyfriend Billy to like come up with this plan to like humiliate Carrie. So then what they did was they went to this farm to kill pigs and just drink get like a bucket full of their blood, and they would place it above the stage page in the gym at the school during the prom. Yeah, and so then yeah, then it showed how also how one of Carrie's other classmates, Sue, was then like asking her boyfriend Tommy to take Carrie to the prom. Yeah. So then, yeah, Tommy then did ask Carrie out to the prom, but Carrie like at first rejected it because she just felt it was a prank. But then, yeah, then like later on, Tommy like tried to ask her again and was insisting that it's not a prank and that it he was genuinely asking her out. So then Carrie then was still skeptical, but she ended up like accepting reluctantly. Yeah. Then like as that was all going on, then a Carrie over time was then discovering more about the telekinesis power. uh, or yeah, then as Carrie was telling her mother about going to the prom, her mother was against it and was really protesting it, but Carrie was just saying how she was going to go to the prom. Yeah. And it showed on the night of the prom how Carrie like dressed very nicely with her actually wearing a dress and doing her hair. Yeah, and as Carrie's mother was still trying to protest to her, like Carrie then just like uh used her uh, kinetic powers to her mother, just yelling at her to sit down. Yeah, and then Carrie's mother then just deemed her as a witch. And then before Carrie then left with Tommy to the prom. And it showed how at the prom how Chris and Billy were hiding underneath the stage, and it showed how some of Chris's other friends and also were in on the plan as well. Like they had plans to actually rig the election for the prom queen, and so Carrie would get named prom queen to get on the stage to dump the pig's blood on her. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Then it showed how at the prom Carrie actually was actually having a good time, talking with Tommy and also talking with Miss Collins, just feeling that she was actually being accepted by her peers now. Yeah, yeah. Then when it came time for the prom, Queen and King voting, all of Chris and Billy's conspirators ended up fixing the ballots to so Carrie would win the prom queen election. Yeah, and then yeah, then when Tommy and Carrie then were named prom queen king as they were on stage being crowned. Sue then was starting to uh, notice Chris and Billy's plan. She noticed the bucket at the top of the stage, and she then saw there was it was rigged to a rope. And then she eventually then did discover Chris and Billy underneath the stage. But then Miss Collins then spotted Sue and was thinking that she was behind it. And before um Sue could actually intervene, Miss Collins threw Sue out of the prom. Yeah, and then yeah, then eventually Chris and Billy then pulled the rope, which then dumped the bucket of blood onto Carrie, and she was just completely doused in the blood. Yeah, yeah, and then yeah, then the bucket then just fell and hit Tommy right in the head, knocking him out. Yeah, then as the crowd was then just looking on just speechless. Carrie then was just like having a hallucination of like everybody laughing at her after like one of the protests that her mother gave to her about everybody laughing at her, and with like Carrie just like seeing that and just mocking her, it just like then just led to Carrie just like having an outburst, and then it showed how like Chris and Billy were able to sneak out of the school before getting caught. Yeah, then Carrie then just like went crazy. Like she just used her telekinetic powers and just like went crazy on everything. Like she sealed all the exits and then ended up like controlling a fire hose, which like spewed water at like several people. Well, yeah, and one of this like kind of like the scary thing about like Carrie's telekinesis is that she kind of just stood there with a blank look on her face. She was just kind of like, yeah, she was just like just standing there like just like with a blank expression on her face. It wasn't even like she was like screaming or like looking mad or anything like that. She just like had a blank expression on her face. So in a way, that did kind of like make it like even more chilling. Yeah, then at one point, then a falling basketball backboard ended up crushing Miss Collins, killing her. Then a couple of faculty members, like one of Carrie's teachers and the principal, ended up being electrocuted. Then eventually, the entire gym then just ended up catching fire and going ablaze, and everyone was killed. And then you just saw Carrie just like walking very slowly out of the gym, and then sealed the door which trapped everyone inside. Yeah. Then you just saw like Carrie just like slowly walking home, and then yeah, Chris and Billy then were like attempting to run her over, but then and Carrie then like turned around and then used the telekinetic powers to cause the car to just overturn, and it eventually ended up exploding, killing Chris and Billy. So this is another interesting thing about the movie is that despite the fact that Carrie is the antagonist, she is the protagonist rather in the film. She is also the monster in this film. Like she's the one that really is like the one that is responsible for all the deaths in the movie. So kind of interesting. Not a lot of horror movies really have that take where the protagonist of the film really is also the monster. Yeah. Then eventually, then Carrie arrived back at home, and then and as her mother was like trying to like comfort her, she then like revealed how Carrie was conceived while her father was actually drunk, but she told Carrie that she actually uh enjoyed it. Yeah. Then eventually, as like she was trying to like console Carrie, then she just grabbed a knife and then stabbed Carrie in the back. Yeah. Then Carrie then just fell down the stairs, and as her mother was continuing to come toward her with the knife, Carrie then just used her powers to just like cause like a bunch of other knives and sharp utensils to just uh, impale her mother with, and then it just ended up like crucifying her, and eventually she ended up just dying. Yeah. Then Carrie then just like seeing like what did happen and what she did like do. It eventually then just ended up like causing the house to go down. Like the house really was just like crumbling down and then just perished down and catching fire and all that stuff. So then yeah, then like that ended up also killing Carrie as well. Yeah. Then it cut to sometime later where it showed how like Sue was the only survivor at the prom incident, and it showed like how she was just like asleep in her bed. And then then she had like this dream where she was like putting flowers on the remains of Carrie's home. Yeah. Then as like she was like putting flowers there, then it showed like how Carrie's like arm covered in blood reached from under the rubble and grabbed Sue. Yeah. Yeah. Then just had like Sue like in bed, like writhing in terror, but her mother was like trying to console her, saying that everything was fine. Yeah, and that's how the movie ended. So yeah, so this movie, like after this, there was like some other projects that were like related to this movie. Like there was a sequel, well, released in 1999, and there was also um, like a well, yeah, there was also like some like a reboot film, such as like the 2002 TV movie and the 2013 remake, and even the stage play as well. So it's mainly like with the sequel because that's the only one really that is actually like really like sort of like connected with this one. The other ones are all reboots and stuff. So yeah, I haven't actually seen the sequel, so I don't know if that actually does like have any continuation from this film. I don't know if like the ending of this film really just pick up in the sequel at all. But yeah, yeah. But yeah, this ending, I guess it was like setting up for something that was like going to be like a few, like a sequel or in the future or something, but they didn't go through with it for whatever reason. I'm not sure if that's the case or not. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, this is definitely like a really great movie. It is really like among the best horror movies of all time, and really like a good mix of horror and drama to it. Like it is like a pretty sad story to see like what Carrie really does go through, and especially like when Chris's prank on her ends up just turning everything wrong for her, and she just has the the outburst and kills everybody at the prom. So yeah, so it definitely does have a real sad story, and you really do like feel like a Carrie's pain throughout the movie. So yeah, so definitely like a really good movie, a really good story, some really good performances. So I mean, what can you really say? Just this movie really is just a classic. So yeah, so like I said, I do give it a solid 4 stars out of 4. Definitely among the best horror films of all time. Like I said, if you are a horror movie fan, then you probably have seen it. But if by some chance you haven't seen it, definitely give it a watch. It is really a true classic. All right, so yeah, so I guess that's all I can really say about it. All right, so this is it for my review of Carrie. So I hope you guys did enjoy this review, yeah. And then, and of course, tomorrow is Halloween. So yeah, so tomorrow for Halloween, I'm going to be finishing off these horror movie reviews with a review of another classic horror movie that really is like looked at by a lot of people to probably be the greatest horror movie of all time, and also considered to be even the scariest movie of all time. So I have a feeling probably like a lot of you do know which film I'm talking about. So I'm going to be reviewing that tomorrow. Yeah. And I did say how like I was going to also be talking about the new Halloween movie, Halloween Ends, during these reviews. But yeah, I've like haven't actually been able to go see it yet. I've had some stuff going on. Yeah. Yeah, I know like I could really like watch it on Peacock, but yeah, I've told you guys before how like I don't like to do that with new releases that are also released on these streaming platforms comes along with the theater release. Like I don't like to do that. I still do like to see the new releases in the theaters. So yeah, I haven't got the chance to see the new Halloween yet, but yeah, after tomorrow, like I'll go see the movie on Tuesday, and then I'll make the video giving my thoughts on Halloween Ends. So yeah, so I'm gonna be doing that. It's gonna be like a day late after Halloween, so it kind of sucks. But yeah, I will be giving my thoughts on that on Tuesday. So yeah, so that's gonna be coming up, all right? But yeah, but I hope you guys did enjoy this review. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.